Many conversations today go to the financial instability of what's going on in the world today. Well, I have someone tonight that is going to put your thoughts at rest. The amazing Adam Leach. So excited you're here with us tonight.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
We're thrilled to have you. You come highly recommended from a host of people.
Great.
So
Great.
We're great. And what we're going to talk about tonight is the financial uncertainty of what's going on in our economy today. You are a financial advisor, and you talk about this and guide your clients on a daily basis. Our viewers, that's one of the questions we get is, how do we look at our future? What's going to happen with the market? What's going to happen with our 401ks? Should we diversify? I need you to clarify all that.
Sure. Let me just go ahead and tell you exactly what's going to happen.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
But history doesn't typically repeat itself, but it rhymes. And so we take a look at what's happened in the past, and we've been here. Back in the 80s, 70s, 80s, interest rates were skyrocketing. People were just very concerned about their investments, about the cost of groceries. So we've seen it before. It's not the exact same, but we just know that great American companies will do great things for our investors.
Right. So what you're saying is it's happened before. We were talking about earlier before we started taping about '08 and the crisis of '08 and how everyone thought that was the end of the financial world, because it was crushing. It happened. The market just tanked. It absolutely tanked. 401ks were down to zero, and people that were retiring were financially strapped. So we had a run of amazing growth. We couldn't even capture the moments that we were in. It was getting better and better every year. So what goes up eventually is going to come down. And so that's what happened. How did our world get to this point?
Well, it comes down, I think, to a lot of what happened through the pandemic. And nobody could predict the pandemic, of course. Mm-hmm. And so now all of a sudden you have folks around the globe unable to work. So we have supply issues. We couldn't get those supplies to the United States. Everybody was at home. Everybody wanted to do their backyard. Right. They wanted to put that outdoor kitchen in, or buy a TV, or maybe get a refrigerator. But we couldn't get the parts to make it. And so we have all this money chasing all of these goods and products, right, and we just couldn't deliver. And so what happens is prices started to come up. And then you have the federal government intervening, doing their thing, raising rates. And then all of a sudden we see this dirty word called inflation that's been happening. Right. Prices of everything have gone up, and you felt it, and I felt it, and all the families around us have felt it. Mm-hmm. And so we're just having daily conversations with clients about how do we navigate those times.
Right. Well, I love what you said earlier. You said, what we can control is our emotions.
Yes.
Because life sometimes doesn't go as we expect it to. And we're all in this situation together. Like, mm-hmm, all of our money is, the same. Like, I don't care if you're a zillionaire, a millionaire, or an everyday white-collar worker. Your money has been affected. Rates have been affected. Food costs are higher. Cost of goods and everything's higher. You can't, mm-hmm, even get car parts or car chips. So, we're in it together. So I guess there is no real solution. But I love what you said. You can control your emotions.
We got to focus on our goals.
Right.
My goal isn't to retire this year.
Right.
So in 10 years, 20 years, 5 years, what have you, that's what you got to focus on, is, mm-hmm, making sure you're staying on track. And by the way, these markets are going to happen again. They've happened already. Mm-hmm. They're going to happen again. But we can control our emotions, keep those in check, stick with the strategy that you've placed, because the clients that have that strategy are the clients that win.
Right. And don't you think it's important for clients to diversify? You can't have all your money in one pocket, right?
I think
you have to
that's
have
silly.
All these different pockets, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You put all your eggs, you go all your chips on red, and then it's black, and then all of a sudden, right, that's it. So yes, diversification, uh-huh, is key. Don't have all your eggs in that same basket. Stick to a strategy. And in fact, it's really smart sometimes to buy the things that are down the worst. Mm-hmm. So we have, maybe stocks are down the most. Maybe it's a good time to buy the stocks. Right. Maybe bonds are down. Some other types of investments are down, real estate or whatever. That's a great time to buy them when they're down.
Right. And the key is to have an advisor to help you navigate this. It's great. Sometimes we think that we're, so great with our money and diversifying and investing, but we're not experts. So sometimes an expert can think of or tell you the things that maybe are different. There are companies that take 5 and 6 groupings and invest the money for you. You know, how many bonds you should get, how much stock. It's about diversification, right?
Right. Just
Diversify.
your appetite for risk is going to be different from the next person's appetite for risk. And so marrying those asset classes, different types of investments to that person's risk appetite is key. And just sticking with that strategy.
Is there a formula, like certain ages when they invest, you know, you don't have as long? Or is there a formula, you save this pocket, you invest this pocket, this is you live within your means and spend this pocket? Do you have a formula?
There isn't a perfect formula because everybody's so different. And that is why I think folks should work with a financial advisor. They can understand your individual needs, your individual goals, because they're just going to be different from somebody else's. Typically, sure, the longer the time horizon, the more time you have to recuperate from these crazy times. However, we still have retirees who just love the market because maybe they have that big pension, so they don't really need the money today, or maybe it's for their grandkids or great grandchildren one day. Adam, I have all the time in the world for that, so let's go ahead and invest it, you know, aggressively.
Good. So give us 3 key points that we should all have as our principles for financial gain or worthiness or financial stability.
Well, again, being different for everybody, talk to a financial advisor about that. Control your emotions. Things get wild in the markets. You're going to listen to all different kinds of news channels. You're going to listen to different opinions, and some of them are going to be right, and a lot of them are going to be wrong. And so if you have that strategy, stick with the strategy. Control your emotions. We cannot control the markets. We cannot control interest rates. But what we can control is going home at night knowing you did your best that day, and love on your family and friends, and just stick with the course.
I love that. That is great advice. That's great advice coming from the amazing financial advisor, Adam Leach. So just like Adam said, we can't control what's happening in the market today, but we can control our emotions. You know, it's just money, people. So we hope that this has helped you a little with your financial savviness. And like Adam said, it's best to consult with a financial advisor.